Lee Anderson, of Reform UK, is quite the character. Down-to-earth, witty, comedic and straight-talking. Here are 5 of my favourite, recent Lee Anderson moments. Before we get into the first one, please like and subscribe to help build our patriotic community.
Early this year, I made some comments about Mayor Khan in London. Has anybody heard of Mayor Khan?
Oh, I don't want to hear about him.
But I actually said that he'd given our capital city away.
Yeah.
And I think he has. I think he has. And this is the thing. Because it starts in London, don't it? Then it goes to the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's given our country away. The man's an absolute disgrace. And he should be booted out of office, and we're sleepwalking into disaster. And I will call him out at every opportunity. It makes me feel sick to the pit of our stomach, knowing that little weasel, pathetic, cowardly, spineless little man is running our capital city. So anyway, I made these comments about Mayor Khan, and I got a phone call from the Chief Whip to say you must apologise. And I said to him, actually at the conference room, I said there's no way I'm apologising to that little pipsqueak. And he says, well, you've got to, or we'll take the whip off. He says, well, don't waste your time ringing number 10 or ringing Mission, keep ringing me back. Just get rid of me, because I'm not apologising to that man. Then I went to see my parents at the weekend. My parents are still alive. My dad's 80, my mum's 76, and they said, Lee, if you apologise, we won't vote for you at the next election. We'll disown you. I thought, well, your mother knows best, don't she? Your mother always knows best.
Thanks, Chair. Thanks, Simon. Hi, guys. Just one question from me. Put foreign offenders aside and Albanians aside, just forget about those numbers. How many people travelling on small boats that's been refused asylum have been sent to a third country or back to their own country over the past 3 years?
I don't think we have.
I think we'll write to the committee with those numbers, Mr. Anderson.
That's staggering. That's actually
Okay,
then let's do it for the last year.
I don't have a number for non-Albanian, non-FNOs.
Perhaps they might be able to help you.
Let's do last week then.
Do we have any figures about anything?
No? Yes.
In the last 6 months, just how many in the last 6 months?
As Simon said, there are charter flights and other ways of doing returns the whole time, constantly, and we can give you whatever timeline period you'd like.
People who are coming here who are being refused asylum, because I'm sure there's a few. How many was sent back last month?
Have you got
Incoming.
We'll write to you with those numbers, Mr. Anderson.
I'm sorry, Chair, but I find it absolutely staggering that the big boss hasn't got a clue, not just on this question, but nearly every other question we've asked today. Why is that?
We've got that. I think Mr. Ridley's looking for the numbers, and we will send them to you.
Okay. That's me done, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just a few weeks ago, from that dispatch box, the Minister for Rural Affairs said that he'd been congratulated by a farmer over the introduction of the inheritance tax. Now, I think this farmer must have been a cannabis farmer, because just yesterday we had 10,000 farmers on Whitehall protesting against this madcap decision. So does the Deputy Prime Minister agree with me that this decision should be thrown in the trash can along with Rachel from Accounts' CV? And we are actually, if you think about it, carbon emission NIMBYs. We're quite happy to import steel and products made from steel from 60 or 70 countries around the world that has been made with blast furnaces, but we're saying we can't do it here. I think that's hypocrisy of the highest level, that now we're the only advanced nation in the world that cannot make our own virgin steel. It's absolutely ridiculous. Look at the coal mine in Cumbria, what we want to open, what we should open, to produce metallurgical coal, which will then help in the production of steel, which we could blend and use in blast furnaces in this country. Yet we seem reluctant. This is a coal mine, Madam Chair, that would produce millions of tonnes of metallurgical coal. It will provide 500 to 600 well-paid jobs in an area that needs jobs and more jobs in the wider community. Yet we're quite prepared to import 3 or 4 million tonnes of coal a year into this country rather than produce it, use it in this country and hopefully export some of the coal as well. It's absolutely madness. Look at Drax Power Station, North Yorkshire. The electricity prices coming from there are astronomical. This is a power station that burns wood. It used to burn coal from a coal mine just a few miles down the road. But we had this great idea in this country to import wood from trees chopped down in North America and stick them onto diesel guzzling cargo ships, send them over the Atlantic, and then set fire to them in a power station in North Yorkshire. It's absolute madness, and this will drive up the price of electricity and subsequently drive up the price of steel production. You know, it is beyond madness. China's getting it right. China's getting it right. They're world leaders in renewables, but they're also making steel from blast furnaces. You know, I think China's right. We should be actually copying China with this so-called steel strategy. They seem to have got it right. And again, like I say, I'm going to wind up now because I'm quite angry with the madness of this place that we work in, when there's families out there, there's communities that are relying on us to save their jobs. And they all sit there, Madam Chair, with glazed expressions on their faces. And I tell you what, come the next election, people in these communities will boot you all out. Just because a little boy picks up a doll, it doesn't make him a girl. True. And just because a little girl kicks a football, it doesn't mean she wants to be a boy. I want my country back, and the country I'm talking about would not tolerate this nonsense. Over the past few years, nearly 150,000 illegal migrants have crossed the English Channel, and they've been picked up by British boats and then placed in 4-star hotels, given free legal advice, and then allowed to settle in our country. It's a disgrace. That's hundreds of thousands of extra people putting extra pressure on our public services, whilst decent, hard-working Brits can't get a dental appointment, a GP appointment, a school place for their kids. Back in the day, if we had civil unrest on our streets, you could be rest assured that our boys in blue would quickly be on the scene and get stuck in, so decent folks could go about their daily life. Just imagine telling people in 1984 on the picket lines, on the miners' picket lines, I was there with my dad and my family. Just imagine telling the police and the striking minds at that time that fast forward 40 years and we'd see a load of undernourished vegans, grey-haired, yeah, armed with a Just Stop Oil high-vis vest and a dangerous pair of Jesus sandals. Yeah. Entering London and bringing the whole capital city to a standstill, whilst the Metropolitan Police stood by and did nothing apart from dance the Macarena. And admire the latest rainbow on their police car. It's true. I want my country back, and the country I'm talking about would not tolerate this stupidity.